And finally, let's shift focus to stock markets, which have been on the edge ever since tensions escalated between New Delhi and Islamabad. India's benchmark indices, the Sensex and the Nifty 50, closed higher today in the aftermath of the Operation Sindoor. The BSE Sensex closed 0.13% higher, while the Nifty 50 rose 0.14%. This came after both indices opened lower this morning. The BSE Sensex lost 0.86% at market open today, while the Nifty 50 fell by 0.6%. Meanwhile, Pakistan's stock market took a much harder hit. Pakistan's key stock market index, Karachi 100, tumbled by 6,272 points, or over 5.5%, in the early hours of Wednesday. Since the terror attack in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April, the Karachi Stock Exchange has reportedly lost around 3.7%, while India's Sensex has gained approximately 1.5%. But today's strikes, carried out by the Indian Armed Forces, triggered a sharper and immediate reaction in Pakistan's markets, a clear sign that investors there are worried about escalation. But India's markets have largely held steady, with investors taking a cautious, measured approach. Early indicators before markets opened today reflected that the SGX Nifty, a futures contract based on India's Nifty 50 index, traded in Singapore, fell 1.2% early on Wednesday, but trimmed losses to just 0.2% later. Throughout the day, Indian markets remained subdued, but avoided any knee-jerk reaction. Why the calm? Experts say that peak anxiety over India-Pakistan tensions may be behind Indian investors for now, and that Pakistan may not escalate the conflict further given its lack of economic muscle. Moreover, historical data from the last 2 decades shows India's equity markets typically rebound quickly from such geopolitical events, with little long-term impact. On the 26th of February 2019, when the Indian Air Force struck terror camps in Balakot, the Sensex fell by 239 points and the Nifty 50 shed 44 points, but the markets were quick to bounce back the very next day. In 2016, after the surgical strikes on Pakistan terror camps following the Uri attack, the Sensex slid by over 400 points and the Nifty 50 lost 156 in a single session, yet markets bounced back in the days that followed. So while markets may fluctuate in the short term, India's strategic and military posture seems unwavering. The big question now remains, how will Pakistan respond?
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.